You're watching Andy Tube. This is the restoration of a Singer Model 404, and I decided to do the feed regulator in two parts. So this is part 17B. In 17A we put the regulator on the inside with the hinge screw and so forth, and now we're going to put on the outside parts. And just as a reminder, that includes the stitch indicator plate, and this is the feed regulator stud, and in that stud is a slide. Remember that funny little slide? Goes inside there. Okay, and then the feed stud slide actuating thumb nut, and of course to hold the nut on we have the feed regulator stud slide actuating thumb nut washer and the screw. Okay, and there's two little screws that hold on the feed regulator plate. So let's start with that feed regulator up here, the stitch indicator plate and the two little screws. So on the stud there's a part that protrudes out. You just work the plate over that, usually up around the fine area, like that. And then if you move the stud all the way to the top, it will hold the excuse me, it'll hold the plate in a good position to put in the screws. So, see if I can get in here. I tried to make this pretty bright. Let's see if I can get one screw. There we go. Once that's holding the plate, you can back this down a little so you can get room for the top screw. And we'll get that in there. Now you remember I put some oil in the screw holes with that little interdental brush after the body wash. Okay, so that's good. Now the next thing we're going to do is put the slide in, and the slide goes with that tab fit closest to the machine with the two little threaded ears closest to you, and it just slides in the slot, the opening of the stud, and you want to get it in there evenly, side to side, and kind of so those threaded ears are flush with the end of the stud, like that. Then you take your thumb nut, and it looks pretty much the same end to end. The flattest side, I guess I would put towards you because that's going to hold the washer. And this, of course, is just going to screw on, but it screws on lefty tighty. Oh, oops! It screws on left to the tight, and just go slow to get it started. Those little threads that stick out of that slide are not that big or strong, so just there we go. Once you get it going, tighten it towards the machine, which is all the way left. Tighten it up like that, again about flush, and then we're going to be able to put the washer and the screw. And the washer, the screw, actually is going to go on the inside of that stud and the inside of the ears of the slide. So it's probably best just to get the washer onto the screw first and get the screw up there like that. It does tighten right, normal righty-tighty. Sometimes you can get it started with your fingers. There we go. And at first, just concentrate on getting that started into that stud. Come on, baby. There we go. There we go. Don't force it. And then you want to tighten it all the way. So if you turn the thumb nut left, which is push it towards the machine, then you can tighten the screw all the way to the right. Now when you go to the right, that'll push the slide towards the indicator plate. That's so you can lock a stitch. That's all in the manual. But that's going together real well. There we go. Boy, that was pretty easy, huh? Okay. Now at this point, I would adjust that hinge screw to the pressure that you like this to be. So you don't want it too loose or it'll creep around when you're sewing full speed from the vibration. You don't want it real hard because then it's difficult to make fine adjustments. So get a good fitting screwdriver. And this screw, it's because of the tension spring, it doesn't tighten all the way down. You tighten it as much or as less as you like to get the desired tension. That's still pretty loose to me. Now it's kind of firming up. I think I might go just a little bit more. You can always adjust it later. I would check the adjustment before you put the hand wheel back on. Yeah, that's doing pretty good. Maybe a little more. That's kind of an individual taste. That feels good. Okay, now you got that tension adjusted. So now you have the feed regulator and the stitch indicator plate, thumb screw, the stud, everything's back. Beautiful. This plate I did when I used the cleaner wax. I do use the cleaner wax on these plates too. It doesn't seem to affect any of the paint or the labeling or anything, but it does get any residual grime off of there. Very nice. Okay, so like I mentioned in the first part of 17, that's kind of the toughest part of the reassembly there because it's so tricky inside there. Now the rest is not nearly that difficult. And the next thing we're going to do is we will do the bobbin winder and those associated parts of the bobbin winder system. That'll be in the next video. Very nice. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you picked up some tips there. Take care.